The winter, he learned to trust the spring again. The forest looked almost dead, but something inside him was waking up. In a deep valley surrounded by mountains, a brown bear named Rolan lay in his den. Snow covered the world outside in thick, quiet layers. The trees stood like gray bones. The air was so cold that each breath felt sharp. Bears usually sleep deeply through winter, but Rolan's sleep was broken. He woke often, heart pounding, pulled from dark memories. Last spring, before the snow, there had been a fire. He could still smell it in his dreams. Choking smoke, rushing fear, the crack of burning branches. The fire surprised the forest after a long, dry season. Animals ran in all directions. Rolan helped 2 cubs find a river path, but many places he loved turned to black ash. When the fire died, parts of the forest looked like another world. Trees he had scratched for years were gone.
Berry bushes,
he knew by heart, were only dark sticks. If this can happen once, he thought, it can happen again. Maybe nothing is safe. When snow finally came, he retreated to his den, but the comfort he used to feel was smaller. Safety felt like a thin blanket that could be pulled away at any moment. One night, as wind pushed snow against the entrance, Rolan woke from another dream of flames. His whole body shook. "I cannot trust this world," he whispered into the darkness. "Everything can disappear." Days passed. He ate from the food he had stored and slept in short, restless pieces. Outside, winter did what winter always does. Storms came and went. The sky changed from gray to white to dark blue. One afternoon, a scratching sound came from the entrance. Rolan lifted his head and sniffed. The scent was familiar and warm. A fox appeared, small against the snow, with bright eyes and a thick tail. "Rolan, are you still alive in there?" she called softly. He grumbled, half annoyed, half relieved. "Barely," he answered. The fox, whose name was Mira, squeezed into the entrance, bringing cold air and the smell of the outside world. "I was checking old paths," she said. "I thought you might like some news." Rolan turned away. "The last news I remember is fire," he muttered. "I do not want more." Mira watched him quietly. The fire was real, she agreed. It hurt many of us. But it is not the only story. Things have been happening since then. Rolan closed his eyes. "Not for me," he said. "The world is dangerous. Inside here, at least I know what to expect." "Inside here you know what to expect," she repeated, "but you also know it will never change. Is that the life you want?" He did not answer. "Anyway," she added softly, "I came to tell you something simple. The snow is starting to melt near the river. Little green shoots are pushing through the ground. The forest is not what it was, but it is not only ash anymore." Rolan felt a sting of anger. "It is easy for you," he said. "You are small. You move quickly. If something bad happens, you can run. I am big and slow. When I walk through the burned places, I see ghosts." Mira nodded. "You are right. It is easier for me in some ways," she said. "But fear has long legs. It can run inside anyone." She took a step closer. The fire changed the forest, she said. It also changed you. But winter was never meant to be a forever home. It is a season to rest and heal, not a place to live all your days. Her words settled into the den like snowflakes. After she left, Rolan lay awake for a long time. He thought about the black, broken ground. He also thought about small green shoots he could not yet see. Weeks passed. The snow outside slowly shrank. Drops of water began to fall from the roof of the den. Some days he heard birds testing their voices again, soft and unsure. One morning, light touched his face in a different way. It was warmer, less sharp. The air carried a faint smell of wet earth, not only ice. Roland's chest tightened with fear and something else, curiosity. He crawled slowly to the entrance and looked out. The snow was still there, but patches of brown earth showed through. In the distance, black trunks stood like scarred soldiers. Between them, here and there, were thin lines of bright green. His first instinct was to retreat and say, "Not yet. Not ever." Then he noticed a small bird hopping on a low branch. The branch was burned at the ends, but new buds were forming. The bird sang an awkward song, stopping often to listen to itself. Even the song is afraid, Rolan thought, but it sings anyway. He stepped one heavy paw into the snow, then another. The cold wetness surprised him, but it did not hurt. His legs shook from months of rest and from the weight of his memories. Mira appeared from behind a rock, her fur brighter in the new light. "You came," she said simply. "I am only testing the air," Rolan answered quickly, as if he needed to protect himself from hope. "That is all spring asks at first," she replied. "Small tests." They walked together toward the river. Rolan saw the burned ground, fallen logs, empty spaces where his favorite bushes had been. Sight hurt like a bruise. But among the black and brown, he also saw green, tiny plants pushing through ash, thin trees with soft leaves starting again, moss growing over broken stones. The forest was not pretending the fire had never happened. It was building life on top of what remained. At the riverbank, Rolan drank cold, clear water. On the far side, new grass shone almost too bright. "I wanted everything to go back exactly how it was," he said quietly. "I thought that was the only way to feel safe again. But that world is gone." Mira sat beside him. "Yes," she said, "that world is gone. But you are not. The forest is not. Safety is not a promise that nothing bad will happen. It is learning that you can live even after the bad days." Rolan listened to the water. For the first time, he allowed a new idea into his heart. Maybe trusting the spring again does not mean trusting that nothing will hurt me, he thought. Maybe it means trusting that I can grow, even with scars. He breathed in deeply. The air tasted different now. Part smoke memory, part fresh beginning. If you have been living in your own winter for a long time, afraid to trust spring after a painful season, remember, Rolan, you do not have to forget the fire. You only have to take a few steps out of your den and see that life can grow again in places you thought were finished. If this story gave you even a small hope that your forest can heal, please follow and subscribe for more gentle English stories.